ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे। Lord for Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयन्थस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति श्रुहत्सताम्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We're reading today. I'm seeking all of your blessings to read the verses. I've not had chance to prepare much, so I'll be just reading the verses and then opening up for discussion. So we're reading from Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 2 and 3 today. Text 2. Na hi yasya varshama na hi yasya varshmana pumsam varimna sarvayoginam Vishruto Shrutadevasya Bhuri Tripyanti Me Savaha Nahi Asya Varshamana Pumsam Varimna Sarvayoginam Vishruto Shrutadevasya Bhuri Tripyanti Me Savaha. Word by word. Na, not, he, indeed, asya, about him, Varshamanaha, the greatest, Pumsam, among men, Varimna, the foremost, Sarva, all, yogi nam of yogis, Vishruto in hearing, Shrutadevasya, the master of the Vedas, Bhuri, repeatedly, Tripyanti, are sated, me, my, asvaha, senses. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shaunaka continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature, a yogi, than he. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Vedas also. Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. He is the supreme living entity and is supplying the necessities of all other living entities. Thus, all other living entities, both Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. The same concept is confirmed here. Nahi asya varshamanaha pumsam. Among the living entities, no one can surpass the Supreme Person because no one is richer, more famous, stronger, more beautiful, wiser, or more renounced than he. These qualifications make him the Supreme Godhead, the cause of all causes. Yogis are very proud of performing wonderful feats, but no one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is associated with the Supreme Lord is accepted as a first-class yogi. Devotees may not be as powerful as the Supreme Lord, but by constant association with the Lord, they become as good as the Lord himself. Sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord. Of course, that is the Lord's concession. Also used here is the word varimna, meaning the most worshipful of all yogis. To hear from Krishna is the real pleasure of the senses. Therefore, he is known as Govinda. For by his words, by his teachings, by his instruction, by everything connected with him, he enlivens the senses. Whatever he instructs is far from the transcendental platform, and his instructions, being absolute, are non different from him. Hearing from Krishna or his expansion or plenary expansion, like Kapila, is very pleasing to the senses. Bhagavad Gita can be read or heard many times, but because it gives great pleasure, the more one reads Bhagavad Gita, the more he gets the appetite to read and understand it. And each time he gets new enlightenment. That is the nature of the transcendental message. Similarly, we find the transcendental happiness in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy. Text 3. Yad yad vidhate Bhagavan swachanandatma swachandatma matma mayaya tani me shraddhanasya kirtanyanyu anukirtaya. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. Yad yad vidhate Bhagavan swachandatmatma mayaya tani me shraddhanasya kirtaya. Word by word. Yat, whatever. Vidhate, he performs. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Swachanda Atma, full of self-desire, Atma Mayaya, by his internal potency. Tani, all of them, me to me. Shraddha Dhanasya, faithful. Kirtana Yani, worthy of praise. Anu Kirtaya, please describe. Translation. Therefore, please precisely describe all the activities and pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is full of self-desire and who assumes all these activities by his internal potency. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word Anukirtaya is very significant. Anukirtaya means to follow the description, not to create a concocted mental description, but to follow. Shaunaka Rishi requested Sutta Goswami to describe what he had actually heard from his spiritual master. Sukadeva Goswami about the Shaunaka Rishi requested Sutta Goswami to describe what he had heard from his spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami about the transcendental pastimes the Lord manifested by his internal energy. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no material body, but he can assume any kind of body by his supreme will. That is made possible by his internal energy. So this section is beginning this question by Shaunaka Rishi. As we know, this Bhagavatam is a dialogue, like a question answer going on. Story within story with multiple um, questioners and being answered by different personality. So this one is the chapter 25 is beginning with the Shaunaka asking questions about Kapila Muni, who is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is basically asking, he's showing his eagerness to hear about Lord Krishna, where he's asking about the activities of Lord Kapila. And he is saying that he's like most knowledgeable, he's worshipable, he's a master of the Vedas. And actually, to hear about him is the actual pleasure for the senses. As we know, our in the material life, our senses are contaminated by our consciousness, where we feel or we think we are the enjoyer. We are the proprietor for all the things that we have. But actually, Krishna, or Krishna Rishikesha, is the master of the senses, and hearing about him purifies our senses, and then actually that pleasure that we feel is the real happiness, or that's the real goal for one to feel that spiritual happiness. So the more we hear about him, and how do we hear more about these, for regarding personality of Godhead, Prabhupada and purport, he's describing that, associating with the Lord through his books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, where these transcendental books, he's saying that we can read and hear like many, many times. And just by reading, it gives us great pleasure. And the more we read, the more we get the appetite to read and relish and understand. And every time we read, we get new enlightenment. We get, something new. It's, dynamic books. They're not static. These books are Krishna himself, his internal potency is being described, that this is Krishna himself. So actually, Krishna is a person. Our philosophy, if in ISKCON and some in Gaudiya Vaishnava, that Krishna is a person. So actually, Krishna, when we're reading these books, we're associating with Krishna, we're associating with a person. So there's actually a dialogue. Um, it may not be direct dialogue as we will have when somebody's in front of us, but if we go in with that mood that I would like to have a dialogue with Krishna, I would like to, talk to Krishna, whether, it's my joy and happiness to share or whether I'm struggling with that mood. And we can all see, like I personally have witnessed it, that sometimes if I'm struggling with something internally, or I'm really disturbed about something, if I go to these books and, sometimes I would literally just open up a page randomly, and to my amazement, there'll be the answer, or, there'll be something that will be comforting or soothing. Or I decide, okay, let me hear something. So I would put on a lecture, of my spiritual master or Prabhupada. And again, to, just, amazingly, somehow or other, and it may not be right away. Sometimes, we sit with something for some time, and then the answer comes few days later. But even in that, we can see that, these books are, it's actually, if we go in with the mood that, oh, let me talk, or let me, just talk to Krishna, then these books actually speak to us. And as Sanatana Goswami, he says, like, Srimad Bhagavatam, you're my best friend, you're my companion, so just remembering that when we read these, it can really be helpful to go in with that proper mood and approaching these books. So actually, that's all I would like to share from my side, and then I can just open it up for any sharing or discussion that you all may have. I have not been joining the classes, so I was expressing to Lakshmi Gandha Prabhu, I'm not really, um, I don't know really the flow, but this is after Lord Kapila had instructed or just, told Kardama Muni as he had left. Now he's going to have this conversation, or not just, he's going to actually now give instruction to his mother Devahuti, and which will be reciting later, where Mother Devahuti will ask questions, and then through her answers we will get this Sankhya Yoga, the philosophy of describing spirit and matter. So yeah, thank you, devotees. If there's any comments or sharing from your side.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for reading. I don't have anything specific things to share, Mataji, but it was nice to hear that once Kardamuni left after circumambulating and then perfected his life. I mean, the few verses in the last chapter that was spoken, and now Saunaka Rishi is asking Sukadeva Goswami, Sota Goswami about the Lord Kapila's activities. So, and also he's saying that please describe, I mean, I think Prabhupada also precisely describe all the activities and pastimes of the personality of Godhead. So, I mean, then Prabhupada is talking about the purport, how one should hear this from in the parampara, not to through speculation.
Yeah.
So this is the exactly similar multiple places actually will ask. I mean, as you heard from your spiritual masters, so multiple times. I remember hearing this. Sonik Rishi is asking to Sota Goswami. So
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. So just hearing and just the books of session.
And also this, I mean, yeah, Prabhupada was talking about reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, how it gives the happiness. I mean, then as you mentioned, it gives the
Doubts.
you are looking for, right? So I mean, even actually Gandhi also gives a statement. I mean, we have the statement at the end of our Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
In trouble, he opens the book and then he gets exactly what he's looking for, or what is helpful for him. So
Yeah. Yeah, so even, even the Mahatma Gandhi wasn't a devotee, and if he had that experience, like if he is a devotee, yeah, definitely these books are there to help us, guide us, strengthen us. Okay, Prabhu, we have nothing else, is there? We can conclude here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaya cha patitanah pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.